am back with another video. It's hot in this blazer. Yeah, so what was I gonna make this video about? And this video I'm going to be talking about the college courses that I took my first year at Yale. Yeah, so I'm a rising sophomore at Yale University. I just really wanted to talk about my classes because
Yale's weird.
And like, you don't pick your classes until a week or so into the school year because you have shopping week and you're just like trying out a bunch of classes. But I ended up taking a bunch of like kind of random classes if you look at it because I wanted to fill some of the distributional requirements. We don't have a lot at Yale, but I wanted to fill some. I just finished my first year at Yale and it was kind of hard, not gonna lie. It was definitely manageable, and so I'm going to start with my first semester. Semester 1. I took AP Calculus in high school, but didn't do that good on the AP exam. So in college, at my first semester, I took Math 110, which was an intro calculus class. And it was kind of a lot like AP Calculus, like going over the same things that we did in AP Calculus, and it was nice because I kind of had that background, but like even though I had that background, it was still hard because
I'm not a math person, really.
So I really loved that class. Actually, I loved all of the professors, even though I'm not a math person. I also had taken Spanish all throughout high school, and soy puertorriqueña, so yeah, so I wanted to learn Spanish. I kind of want to be fluent. It's a really slang way of speaking of Spanish, if that makes sense. So like, I just wanted to know okay-ish so I could talk with my family, and I feel like I'm pretty good. My mom said I'm good, so I'm good. My first semester I took a level 2, which was a more of an intro Spanish class because it goes from level 1 Spanish all the way to level 5 Spanish, or like for any language. And level 1 is the most introductory, and that's what you take when you're like first starting learning the language. And level 5 is like when you're like mastering the language. Lighting's really bad in here, so there's like this shadow. And I'm just like, should I just stay up against the wall and you won't see my shadow? Or do you care? Like, it's kind of distracting me. Okay, and then I took my favorite class that I've taken at Yale, and it was called Intro to Political Philosophy, and I loved it so much. I had a great TA. I didn't go to office hours because I don't know why. I haven't gone to office hours at all this whole year. I'm kind of dumb. And I before going to college, I was like, I'm going to office hours, but I just didn't. So like, I have to change that. We read a lot of books in this class. So we read On the Social Contract, The Leviathan, Democracy in America, Politics, Plato's Republic, The Four Texts on Socrates, The Communist Manifesto, The Federalist Papers, and Machiavelli's The Prince. These are just some of the books that we read. Those were like the books that like we read the most excerpts from, so I actually had to get them. But we read a lot of other short little excerpts online from like Hannah Arendt. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Arendt. But yeah, so I took more classes in my second semester. First semester was definitely a hard transition. Did not expect it to be that hard of a transition, but it was. Second semester I took Math 111, which was kind of like a sister course to Math 110. A lot of still going along with AP Calculus from high school. Yeah. I still took Spanish my second semester, but I took an intensive intermediate Spanish, which was level 3 and level 4 combined. So it was 2 hours every morning, and it was pretty intense. But it was a really good class, a nice little small class, about 7 people. Really nice professor, and yeah, I really liked it. It was hard, it definitely was challenging, but I really liked it. And also I took a religious studies / political science class, but the religious studies class I took was called Biblical and Constitutional Interpretation, and it was a lot of reading too, but they were not like directly from books. It was a lot of like court cases that we read, or like opinions of the court. Like a lot of cases from the Supreme Court were discussed. If it's like a case like concerning religion, but it's like in the Supreme Court, yeah, basically, and like seeing how different people interpret, like different ways to interpret the Bible specifically, and different ways to different ways to interpret the Constitution, and kind of like how those connect. And lastly, the last class I took my second semester was astronomy class, and it was about like the origins and the search for life. And it was a huge lecture class, and yeah, that one was interesting because I hadn't been in a lecture class that big. It's like over 300 people, I'm pretty sure. So it was kind of like after taking it, I'm so much more interested in astronomy, but it's definitely something that I'm not gonna go into. But I'm like glad I learned that information. So those were all the classes I took my freshman year at Yale. But I am taking a summer class. Over the summer, I'm taking a level 5 Spanish class, and it's about the Andean culture, so like the culture of like Ecuador and like that area and like the Andes Mountains. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. And the professor for that class was my professor for my Spanish class first semester. So yeah, that's kind of like what my schedule looked like this year. I didn't really talk about my classes a lot in my videos. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, please.